So meat is going to make up a majority of your protein intake on a paleo diet. When thinking about meat, I'm speaking specifically about things like beef, pork, lamb, buffalo, bison, venison, and things like that. What gets brought up a lot in the paleo community is the quality of the meat you purchase and eat. Is it better to buy meat from grass-fed or pasture-raised animals, or is conventional meat just fine? Are animals treated better on local farms than big conventional ranches? And so on. The questions could go on forever. The reality is that grass-fed and pasture-raised animals have healthier meat and fat content. This is typically very clear as far as omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids are concerned. When choosing meat, we want to get that ratio somewhere between 1 to 1 and 4 to 1, omega-6 to omega-3s. Of course, 1 to 1 is ideal. But the problem with a lot of conventional meat products is that the omega-6 to 3 ratio is much higher. So meats contain a lot more omega-6 fatty acids than omega-3s. And usually the ratio is around 10 to 1 or worse. Remember that omega-6 fatty acids are pro-inflammatory and overall need to be reduced. If you've been eating a standard American diet, you are most likely deficient in omega-3 anti-inflammatory fatty acids, and you have an overabundance of omega-6 pro-inflammatory fatty acids in your diet. Making better food choices will help you get your ratio to a healthier level. So the mantra is always to get the best you can afford. Check out the added PDF about sourcing your meat. It will be very helpful in guiding you to make good choices. Also, when it comes to meat, favor beef, lamb, and poultry over pork. They are all good choices, but pork tends to have a higher omega-6 ratio than the other three, no matter how it was raised. So just make sure to get the highest quality you can reasonably afford, and remember that eating some conventional meat is still a better option than eating processed junk foods, especially when a body recomposition is your goal. Let's talk poultry and eggs, especially eggs. They are one of my favorite foods, and I'll tell you why. An egg is packed with tons of great vitamins and nutrients. Things like vitamins A, E, D, K, and B12. Also, pasture-raised free-range hens lay eggs that are very high in omega-3 fatty acids, where conventional caged hens produce eggs that are high in the pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids. Not only that, but eggs provide a very usable source of protein to the body. The body can utilize almost 100% of the protein in an egg without combining it with any other foods. So the protein of an egg can be used fully to support body processes and tissue repair. So with poultry and eggs, it still becomes a quality question. Eating free-range organic poultry and eggs is going to give you a more nutrient-dense food, but if you can only afford the conventional foods, it's still going to be better for you than eating a diet full of processed junk. And one final thought when it comes to eating eggs: eat the yolk and enjoy it. Most of the vitamins, minerals, good fats, and protein are in the yolk of the egg. If you're concerned with cholesterol, you should know that a normal person without any previous medical concerns about cholesterol are not going to get high cholesterol from eating a bit of dietary cholesterol like what is found in eggs. There's also supporting evidence that high cholesterol levels in the blood do not lead directly to plaque in the arteries of the heart and blood vessels. When it comes to cholesterol, you should speak to your doctor, but you should also educate yourself. Check out the cholesterol resources I've made available in the supporting documentation for more reading and clarification. But for people who are healthy and looking to do a body recomposition, you will be fine eating whole eggs. Mom always said, eat your vegetables. And you know what? She was right. So don't worry, you don't have to call her and tell her that. It'll just be between us. Paleo is all about eating plenty of vegetables. I've actually expanded my horizons quite a bit with vegetables when I began eating paleo. I was eating more squash, zucchini, kale, spinach, eggplant, asparagus, cauliflower, mushrooms, peppers, you name it. I've at least tried it. There are a ton of vegetables, and most likely everyone can find at least a few that they'd like and enjoy. I also suggest checking out vegetarian cookbooks because there are a lot of great recipes that go along with a paleo diet. Of course, paleo means that you'll still be eating animal protein, but veggies make up a big part of your plate in most meals. Plus, a big ass salad, as Mark Sisson puts it, is a great lunch that can be thrown together in minutes. Probably one of the biggest differences between a paleo diet and something like the Atkins diet is that paleo allows for getting carbs in from fruits and vegetables. You don't have to limit intake of veggies at any phase of a paleo diet, especially the leafy greens. They are very nutrient dense, but not calorie dense, so you can pile them up as much as you like. But beware that plant foods can still be problematic for some people. If you are eating a clean paleo diet and you're eating plenty of vegetables and you're still feeling bloated, it could be from something called FODMAPs, which is a specific type of carbohydrate found in some fruits and vegetables. I've attached a PDF in the additional documentation that has a list of all the FODMAPs foods. Nightshades can also be problematic, especially for people with autoimmune conditions. Most people aren't going to have issues with these things, but if you find yourself experiencing discomfort or bloating, then test out eliminating FODMAPs. And if you have an autoimmune condition, you'll probably want to eliminate nightshades, so talk to your doctor about that. Either way, there are plenty of varieties of veggies that everyone can find the right ones to fit in with their paleo diet plan. Most likely, your fat intake will go up with a paleo diet. This is nothing to be worried about. In fact, it's a good thing. Your body requires fat, but it requires the right kind of fat. Also, skipping out on good fats will not only keep you from losing body fat, but it could also make you gain more body fat. To lose fat, you have to learn to eat fat and not be scared of it. So what kinds of fats should you include in your diet? The top paleo approved fats are coconut oil, butter from grass-fed cows, ghee, also known as clarified butter, which is especially good for people who are lactose intolerant, tallow, palm oil, lard, olive oil, and avocado. Now, out of all of those, you'll want to use things like the coconut oil, butter, ghee, tallow, palm oil, and lard for cooking purposes. These fats are more stable at high heats and are better to cook with. Fats like avocado, avocado oil, and olive oil are for cold uses. You may also decide to supplement with a high quality fish oil to get more omega-3s into your diet, which are anti-inflammatory and very good for you. Depending on your body recomposition goals, you may find yourself eating a diet where over 30% of your daily calorie intake comes from good fats. We'll get more into finding your macro sweet spot in a future lesson, but right now just realize that good fats are good for you. And eating good fats will help you lose bad body fat. Fruit is awesome. I love fruit. But one thing we have to realize is that fruit is not naturally available everywhere in the world 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Modern agriculture and logistics have changed that, and you can now get fruit whenever you feel like it. Now, while fruit is very allowed on the paleo diet, you need to monitor your intake. Fruit contains fructose, which is sugar, and it still can have an impact on your blood sugar. This is especially true if you are drinking concentrated fruit juices or eating foods with concentrated fruit juices in them. Overall, when trying to lose body fat, you'll want to avoid fruit juices and stick to whole fruits. You might also want to stick to lower glycemic fruits like berries, apples, peaches, pears, grapefruits, kiwi, and cherries. These fruits are fairly low glycemic and great sources of antioxidants and micronutrients. Again, I can't stress it enough that you need to test things out for yourself. If you're not seeing results, but you're eating 3 bowls of berries a day, you might need to test cutting down on the berries and see how your results go from there. I wish there was an exact science, and to a certain degree, it kind of is, but everyone is different. So you have to test how your body responds to all these different foods. But the bottom line is that moderate fruit intake is not going to hurt you. Just make sure to try and buy things that are in season and get organic when the skin of the fruit is edible, especially things like apples and berries. And always wash your fruit before you eat it. I know I sound like a broken record, but I want you to realize losing body fat doesn't have to be hard or confusing. For a lot of people, just the practice of eating whole, real foods will get them 90% of the way to achieving their body composition goals. The other 10% will come from lifestyle habits. And for people who are trying to be fitness models, well, they might need to get all scientific and start counting their calories and macronutrients. But for most of us, to look good at the beach in our bathing suits or to look good in our birthday suits, we need to focus on eating a diet that has plenty of protein, plenty of good fats, generous helpings of vegetables, and some fruit, all from real whole sources. That's really the secret. And I know it's easier said than done because I've done it. So use the lists I provided to make sure you're making good choices and you'll be happy with the results. Now we're moving into my favorite part of this course, and that is the practice and implementation of the paleo lifestyle. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Hi, I'm Jack, and 2 weeks ago I started the 2-week diet. I was 20 kilos overweight. Do you know what that feels like? You feel sluggish, you feel tired all the time, no energy at all. And the worst thing was I had no self-esteem. I discovered the diet after one of my colleagues at work came back from a holiday 30 kilos lighter. It was ridiculous. I just couldn't believe it. I asked her what she'd done to lose that much weight so quickly. She told me all about the 2-week diet created by the weight loss guru that is called Brian Flatt. He owns a gym in LA where all the beautiful people are. Apparently he trains all these famous celebrities and Hollywood actors to getting shaped for movie roles in super fast lightning time. Okay? That's what he does. He's written all his secrets into 4 handbooks that teach you how to master your unwanted body fat and literally melt it away in just 14 days. The first handbook focuses on teaching you how the body gains and stores fat and why some people get fatter than others. I learned a lot from this, especially about my own body. The second part, the diet handbook, tells you exactly secret foods wise what you need and what you need to know. And you'll be doing it 14 days, okay? You're eating the secret foods to burn the fat. There are no shakes, no juices, no expensive supplements or anything like that. No way. Just good old wholesome food that contains scientifically proven ingredients that melt fat away. The third book, the activity handbook, shows you the highest intensity, short exercises. You should be doing them. You really should. At home to melt away your stomach fat. You have no idea how grateful I am that my beer belly is now gone. And finally, the motivation handbook is all about getting your mind in the right place so that you can stay committed to the diet and see it through to the end. I'll be honest, I've tried so many diets in the past, but usually I've just given up after a couple of days because they're boring. I didn't see any results at all. But trust me, when you wake up in the morning and jump on the scales and find yourself having lost 1 kilo lighter than the day before, it's just incredible. It gives you serious motivation to keep going. And that's exactly what the 2-week diet does. This diet seriously works. All 4 parts come together to form an amazing, detailed and precise system that does exactly what it promises. It really does. I feel fantastic now. 20 kilos lighter in just 14 days. I've gone down about 3 sizes in clothes, trimmed several inches off my waist, which needed to happen, and have never been happier in my life. My confidence and self-esteem are through the roof. My self-belief, I believe I can do anything now. and it's all thanks to Brian's 2-week diet. I encourage you to go have a look at his system. Quit wasting your time with diets that just promise the world but don't deliver, okay? They get boring exercise routines. Don't do that anymore. Just in 2 weeks from now, you could be 20 kilos lighter than like me. It's incredible. You literally have nothing to lose except your unwanted fat.